monsoons bring out that long drive feeling. It's just the perfect time. The air gets cleaner. Everything becomes so green. It makes you feel soothed, calm. It's the perfect time to go green as well. Now, and I'm not talking about my clothes, which unintentionally were green that day, but the car. I hadn't ever done a long-distance drive in an EV, and the BMW iX was in office. The temptation to get away was too strong, and so it was time for a long drive. Okay, so let's talk about the EV business first. This is my first long drive in an EV. Charged up to 100%, the car and me, because I'm headed out to Nasik, Sula Vineyards. It's about 180 kilometers from here to Sula Vineyards, and the car has a WLTP range of around 425 kilometers. So let's see how this goes. At this time, I was trying to make a quick getaway from the hub of Mumbai. Now, on a long drive, always try and get out of the city as early as you can so you don't get too much traffic. But Mumbai city, traffic hits really early. But I have to say, the BMW iX has been quite easy in traffic, wraps itself around you nicely, doesn't feel too large. That instant electric torque allows you to just cut in through the gaps, nip in and out, and dodge the traffic a bit. It's pretty light and easy on its feet, and good for a quick getaway. The 326 horsepower from 2 electric motors means it gets up to 100 in a quick 6.1 seconds. There's that joy of instant torque in an EV, but there are also many other things to appreciate in an EV. And what's nice is that this cabin actually cuts out the sounds outside pretty darn well. It's nice and silent like an EV should be. You can see there's quite a lot of traffic around me, but complete silence in this cabin. And that's what you really want, on a long journey. Something that's comfortable, something that calms you down, soothes you, makes the journey easier. And EVs do that, they soothe you. It's very calming. And even the cabin themselves, they open up so much space. It feels nice and roomy, especially this front area where there's no transmission tunnel, so that space is liberated and it just kind of gives you this massive feeling of roominess. It feels more like a lounge than a car. And adding to that lounge effect are these large, comfy seats. Perfect for a long journey. And I like this curved display, like my television in my lounge. Graphics are crisp and clear. And you know what else is good for a long journey? Music. So let's hit it. So this is going to be quite the test for the EV. City traffic, highway, uphill. And I'm driving normally, AC on, everything. I'm not, doing anything to make it any different than I would normally drive. I was cutting through the traffic without hesitating to dump my foot flat to the floor to make those quick passes. And the iX was doing well. In fact, it allayed all my fears in another area where EVs normally give one anxiety, and that is ground clearance. The iX has more than enough, and speed breakers or bad bumpy roads, it sailed through them all smoothly. I like this high commanding position that I have of the road. Ground clearance is good, so far. Speed breakers, everything has been just crossed with ease. So that's really good for an EV. Another thing I've noticed is that going over these bad sections of road, getting out of the city where there's been a lot of construction, the ride quality is very good. It's smoothing out all the bumps, the potholes. It's keeping me really comfortable. It's a very good ride quality, and that's pretty critical for a long journey to have a nice, comfortable car. Not feeling any of the bumps, potholes, and the bad road that's underneath the wheels. Soon we were leaving the city limits behind and finally getting out onto more greener, emptier spaces. Even if it's not raining today, this monsoon drive, just with everything so green around, is so much nicer. The great weather meant that I could enjoy the panoramic sunroof, which is pretty cool, and more on that later. Finally, open roads, which means time to put your foot down a bit and really enjoy a BMW, because it's what they're meant to be, drivers' cars, right? But the inner child in me was just enjoying the joy of driving a fun car on open roads. Okay. And we are about to begin the climb. And of course, this is a BMW, so, I'm going to have a bit of fun. Can't be too plain Jane with this. It's a nice, meaty steering. Sometimes forget that it's an EV and kind of dab for the paddles, and there are none. That's what I missed in an EV, shifting down the gears, powering up a nice winding section of road. But I have to say, this is quite a lot of fun as well, because you have the torque, and finally we have some rain today. And having that little bit of a winding section of road on a road trip really makes it all that much better, doesn't it? Especially when you have a great car on that winding section of road, then it's all that much more fun. The cart is a small section of road, and soon we were at the top and very close to our destination. I have 51% in the bank, so I'm going to take a bit of a scenic route to Sula now. I mean, what's a driving trip without going off-route a little bit and enjoying the views, right? A short detour took me onto a spectacular section of road, and the scenic backdrops were just perfect for some pictures, enjoying the views, and of course, eating bhutta in the monsoon. I got a little carried away with that drive, and it was early evening as we drove into Sula. And I haven't compromised on my driving. I had the AC on all the way. I had those spurts and bursts of acceleration. So I enjoyed the drive. Really didn't go slow or watch the charge or anything. Drove like I would normally drive over here. So I'd say that's pretty good. You can take this car and get away from town so easily. And this place has chargers too. So it's really perfect. No problem at all. And being here has made me realize I started this morning talking about green, wearing green, and I'm here in the Vineyards with a wine-colored car. I promise you this isn't intentional, it was all coincidental, but it's really nice. And this place, it's just fabulous. Like I said, perfect for a getaway. And being here has made me realize that, going green, sustainability, that is the future. The iX stands out wherever it goes, and it certainly turns heads. That monolith of a grille makes people stare. So yes, love it or hate it, this is a car that draws attention. After taking in the fantastic views, we set the car to charge overnight. The iX fast charger will allow you a quick 1 hour 39-minute charge with an industrial socket, or then 8 hours with a standard cable. And if you have a high power charging station, then all you need is about 40 minutes to top it up. It's amazing how a short getaway can get your batteries recharged, especially if it's a beautiful location. The Vineyards were truly fantastic, and walking around the property in the morning was just the perfect way to begin the next day. Good morning. The car stopped up and charged, and I'm recharged after a short getaway to this fantastic location in this lovely weather. Well, yesterday was uphill, today's downhill, so it's going to be a lot easier. And before I head back to office, let's take a look at some of the cool and funky features of this car. Let's begin with the talking point of this car, this massive grille. It's a love it or hate it kind of feature, but there's something really cool about it. Did you know that this grille can self-heal? It has a polyurethane coating, which means when you get scratches, just like I came out here and self-healed by doing a getaway, this car actually, if you leave it out at room temperature or in the heat, it actually heals itself. So you'll never really see scratches on this grille. Now this here isn't just a logo on the nose. No, it's the place where you top up the wiper fluid from. Isn't that really convenient? Don't have to open the bonnet like you do in other cars. Another feature of this car, I don't know how cool it is this key card. Just like you have access to a room, you have access to your BMW iX.
There's also the digital key feature that can be used via the app and shared with 5 friends or family members.
And just like getting in is fancy, getting out is too. It's just at the touch of a button to open the door. Yep, in case the electronics fail, then you do also have a manual lever down here that will let you get out. And of course, inside this cabin, there are a lot of cool bits as well. All these little jeweled bits, the seat adjusters, the memory button, the rotary dial for the infotainment, the scroller for the volume, the lever for the drive modes, start, stop. It's really beautiful. And it's not only the beauty. The interiors also have been designed with sustainability in mind. The mats are made of recycled fishnets, natural leather used on this interior has been tanned with olive leaves, and the wood used on the central console also has been harvested in a sustainable manner. Of course, the kicker is that this is an EV and it's all about zero carbon emission. I spoke about the space and the lounge feeling earlier, but it's special for another reason. Especially for women, it's super practical, a place to put the handbag. But one of the coolest features is this large panoramic sunroof, one of the largest to be ever fitted in a BMW, and it comes with polymer dispersed liquid crystal, which makes it electrochromic. And that means, now you see it, now you don't. At the touch of a button, you can make it opaque or transparent. And last but not least is my television screen in this lounge. Well, almost like that. The infotainment screen and the instrument cluster that is in one nice curved display that stretches across half the dash. It's slim and nice, so it doesn't hamper visibility, but just the graphics, they are so sharp and crisp. And even touch sensitivity is superb, so everything happens at a tap. Or you can even use a gesture. Now, another cool feature is the reverse cam with the panoramic view. Well, I think this is a future I'm going to have to get used to, long drives in EVs. And now that I've done one, I think it's pretty easy. As long as you have chargers where you're going, I don't think that there is any problem. I'm off to head back to the office. I have 90% right now, and I think that should be pretty easy because it's all downhill. I'm just going to get really comfortable, hit the massage function, and drive off.
With the lower taxes in most states, cheaper overall running costs with no fuel bills and less maintenance, EVs are a calm and serene experience not only on long drives but on the wallet too.